Hello and welcome back to my channel. Following the success of this video, many of you have asked me to talk about lucid dreaming and how to navigate yourself in the astral realm so that when the time comes, you can make a conscious decision as to where your soul will go next. So here it is. Lucid dreaming is where you become conscious that you are in a dream. And in becoming conscious, you are able to take control of yourself and the dream world instead of letting the dream world control you. For me, this was really scary at first. I never forget, I started moving my arms around in my first lucid dream. And I was just like, oh my goodness, I'm actually doing it. I'm here, I'm in the astral and I'm moving around. And I was very tempted to wake myself up, but I didn't. And I'm glad I didn't, because lucid dreaming is actually extremely fun. So I promise you will enjoy yourself once you get the hang of it. So just give it a chance. When you're up in the astral, there's obviously no laws of physics, and your imagination is really the only thing limiting you. You're still going to be in this matrix realm, so to speak, but you will have a lot more freedom, and it's an amazing opportunity for you to get to know yourself. A few examples of my own lucid dreams include flying on the back of dragons, enjoying high tea in my very own princess castle, and moving entire planets with just my hands and just my mind. However, I have also battled in wars in my own dreams, and these wars represented the conflicts that I was having within myself and with other people in my personal life. And to be honest, now when I do a lucid dream, I spend most of my time having conversations with myself and my own subconscious through these various dream characters. So going back to my soul trap video, the more you practice lucid dreaming, the more you will become conscious in the astral plane. In a way, this life is also a dream world. And by expanding our consciousness, we're not just walking around with our eyes closed and passively engaging with life. We're questioning all of the systems that operate in the world around us. Similarly, we must do this in the astral plane. And by doing this, the fear of what may be on the other side will dwindle down to almost nothing, because it quickly becomes extremely obvious that everything you encounter is just a projection of your own psychology. Just like this world on the deepest level is a reflection of our own psychology. I also suggest that you don't do this before anything important like a big day at work or something like that, because you will be tired. And every time I do it, it's as if I haven't slept a wink. So I know that everyone's different, but just keep that in mind. So if this is new to you, I'm going to help you start. We're going to focus on 3 steps: reality tests, affirmations, and entering REM sleep consciously. You are going to perform reality tests at least 5 times a day. A reality test is exactly what the name says. It's a test that confirms whether you are in this world, reality, or if you're in a dream. Try to recall some of your craziest dreams. The one that comes to mind for me was I literally walked out into the water, into the ocean, like I was walking down the street on concrete, and I started having full-on conversations with the sharks and the fishes about these deep philosophical debates. Now, it was not the dream that was ludicrous. It was the fact that I went along with this without questioning it once. And that was because at that time I hadn't trained my mind to tell the difference between this reality. I'm not going to call this the real world or anything. I'm just going to call it this reality because in my opinion, this place is as insane as it gets. But yeah, I hadn't trained my mind to tell the difference between where we are now and the astral realm. And that is where the reality tests come in. I am going to give you 3 really effective reality tests that I recommend. You must really believe that you will fly. Now, I know that sounds ridiculous, but remember that in dreams, you always assume that you are here and that you are bound by the limits of this reality, despite that obviously not being the case. So when you jump and you get pulled back down to the ground, then you're here. But if you do it and you then start to levitate, then you're in the astral. And if you do manage to start floating and flying, it is so much fun. So this reality test is effective because some things like checking your reflection in a mirror or reading the time are not 100% effective, because a dream can mimic this place in many ways, and you can be easily fooled into thinking that you are still here. However, the problem with this reality test is that it's not discrete. For example, if you're at work, you can't always just stop what you're doing and start jumping up and down. So that's why I personally use reality test B. This one can be done anywhere. Simply attempt to, so I need to put my microphone down. Push one finger through the palm of your hand with the intention of making it pass through. If you do this successfully, then you're in a dream. And if it doesn't work, again, you're here. So just like the previous step, make sure you do this with conviction and a real belief that it is entirely possible. Reality test C is also very similar. Try to extend one of your hands as if you can stretch your hand and it will elongate, just like the cartoon characters do. If it works, then you're in a dream, and if not, you're here. All of these checks test the boundaries of physical reality. Choose your favorite one and get into the habit of doing it all the time. Once you identify your favorite test, stick with it forever. And while you're doing it, continually ask yourself, is this a dream? Is this a dream? Is this a dream? Don't answer the question back to yourself with your mind. Use your intuition and really look around at your environment for a good 30 seconds or so and question it and be skeptical of where you are, who you're with and what you're doing. Even if you're in the office and it's a really mundane average Tuesday. Say these before you sleep or as you're drifting off to sleep. I'll put them on the screen here for you to screenshot. You can use one or as many as you like. You can vary them as well if you prefer. And saying these will help integrate them into your subconscious. Now, the subconscious dominates in the astral realm. So you'll be surprised at how easy it is to check in with yourself. On your first attempt of lucid dreaming, it is possible to go into a lucid dream straight away after you fall asleep. However, when you're first starting out, it is far more likely that it will happen during the stages of REM sleep. REM means rapid eye movement, which is the stage of sleep where you dream the most vividly. It typically happens between 4 to 6 hours of sleep, which brings me to step 3. This is a popular lucid dreaming technique, and what you have to do is set an alarm and wake yourself back up in the middle of the night, in the middle of your sleep cycle, or whenever you sleep, usually between 4 to 6 hours. I would say if you are extremely tired when you wake yourself back up, it could be a sign that you're waking up too early. Also, take into consideration your age. Younger people generally need a lot more sleep. So if that's you, your REM cycle may occur at around 7 or 8 hours of sleep. You then have to stay awake just for a little bit and go back to sleep after reading the affirmations or maybe having them play in the background. And you need to have the intention of lucid dreaming. So in those moments when you feel yourself drifting off, try to keep some level of awareness. It's quite difficult for me to explain, but just give it a try, and it is surprisingly easy. And even if you don't lucid dream the first time, you'll find yourself remembering your dreams in great detail. Also, you will probably have to experiment with how long you stay awake in the middle of the night. It's important that you're able to fall back to sleep quite quickly and with ease. Therefore, I would say try staying awake for around 3 minutes and just spend a short time saying the affirmations to yourself and quickly just let yourself drift off back to sleep. An added thing, this is optional, but I would suggest keep a dream journal next to your bed and write down your dreams in as much detail as possible. You can use an app too if you want. Spend at least a couple of minutes every night before your affirmations and going back to sleep, rereading your past dream experiences back to yourself. This will remind you of your recent dreams, and it will re-engage that part of your brain that is associated with connecting to dreams. As time goes on, you'll notice that you are able to recall dreams in more and more detail, and lucid dreaming very quickly becomes incredibly easy. And eventually you realize that the irony is you're already lucid dreaming. This world is the most sophisticated dream there is. This pursuit of knowledge that we're all on together, and this attempt to reach spiritual enlightenment, is the practice of your higher self, your God self, waking up. The dream is the dreamer, and the dreamer is the dream. One can't exist without the other. If we forget that, then the dream becomes the master. How do we end all levels of the dream? How do we escape the reincarnation trap? How do we go home for real? We wake up. I appreciate you all watching to the end. Thank you to those of you who are part of my members only channel here on YouTube and who have chosen to join me on Patreon. My next videos over there will be an in-depth analysis into the Law of One. Details on how to join is in the description. Here on my main channel, I'll be posting about another secret gospel that the church doesn't want you to read. There are many other techniques for lucid dreaming. Let me know if you have any recommendations, or if you want to share your experiences with me in the comments. Please do so. They are always open and I read every single one of them. And lastly, make sure to subscribe for more on spiritual self-mastery. And I will see you all in the astral. Peace.